In this video, we're going to learn how to create shrinking data validation lists. So as you can see here, we have a list of employees and we have a table containing some tasks. And what we want to do is that each time we assign an employee to a task, this employee would disappear from the list. So as you can see here, we've assigned Bob to task number 1. Then he has disappeared from the list. He's not there anymore. And then when we assign Jennifer, Jennifer disappears from the data validation list, and when we assign Ahmed, Ahmed disappears from the data validation list, and so on and so forth. So without further ado, let's get started. All right, so starting from a clean slate here, we have a list of our employees, and also we have this table here containing the tasks, and it should contain also the list of employees that are assigned to these tasks. So our first step is to create an Excel table of the two lists, and this is to ensure that our formulas are dynamic, and this would allow us to add more employees here to the employees that can be assigned tasks, and then we can also add some more tasks as well. So creating Excel tables out of our lists ensures that everything is dynamic. So I'm going to select any cell in our lists here and press Ctrl and T on the keyboard to create an Excel table, and I'm going to name this table here TBL employees. And then I'm going to create a table out of this data as well. Press Ctrl and T on my keyboard, and I'm going to name it TBL tasks. And let's also give it a different color as well. So I'm going to give it a black color here. And then what we want to do is to build a list of unassigned employees. So these are employees that haven't been assigned tasks yet and are available to be assigned some tasks, right? So to build this list, we need to create a condition, and this condition will filter the list of available employees based upon whether they are in this list of employees that have been assigned a task or not. And for that, we're going to use the COUNTIF or COUNTIFs function. It's better to use the COUNTIFs function though, because the COUNTIFs function can handle one or more criteria. So if you want to add more criteria to your formula, it's easy when you use the COUNTIFs function, but the COUNTIF function can only handle one criterion. And if you want to learn more about the COUNTIF and COUNTIFs functions, you don't know how they work, I have a video about them. So I'll leave you the link to the video down below in the description. So with the COUNTIFs function, my criteria range, so where I'm going to do the counting, is basically in this column, the employee column on the tasks table. This is where I'm going to do the counting. And what I'm going to count is actually these employees. And I'm going to select the whole employees column on the employees table. And this is going to be an array formula. So if you have an Excel version that is older than Excel 2021, then in order for this formula to work, you have to press Ctrl, Shift, and Enter. By the way, this solution only works in Excel 2021 or Excel 365. If you don't have Excel 2021 or Excel 365, then this solution is not going to work for you. So I'm going to close my brackets here for this formula and press Enter, and let's examine the results. As you can see here, I get zeros for all the employees. So it's actually testing for each employee here whether it's available in this column or not. If I copy Bob and paste values here for Bob, so I've now assigned Bob to task number 1, as you can see here, now the result for Bob is 1 because Bob is now available in this list. So this gives me an indication. It gives me an indication that the condition I should check for, because I want to check for the unassigned employees, so I want to check for employees that are not in this list, I'm going to check for this COUNTIFs formula being less than 1. And if I do that and press Enter, as you can see here, I get false for Bob only, but I get true for Jennifer and Ahmed and Nadia. And this is because Jennifer and Ahmed and Nadia have not been assigned tasks yet. If I move Jennifer, then she's going to get a false as well because she's been assigned a task and she's not available to be assigned any tasks. So let's delete Bob and Jennifer from this table for now. So this is the condition that we are going to check. And what we're going to do is that we're going to filter our employees list based on these conditions. So we're going to use the filter function, and we're going to filter the list of employees here, right? So the employees column on the employees table, and we're going to filter it based on this condition. So for the filter function, the include argument takes a condition that yields true or false, and this is exactly what we have here. We have a condition that yields true or false, and then if empty, so if we can't find any values based on that condition, let's get a message, for example, all employees assigned, or you can also display no employees available. Both would be correct. So we're going to close the bracket here and press enter. And as you can see here, the list of unassigned employees contains all of our employees because there are no employees assigned at the moment. And we can also optionally sort that list as well. So if I put it inside the sort function and press enter, as you can see here, the list is now sorted as well. And this will make your list of employees, your shrinking list of employees, always be sorted. If I copy Bob here and paste him in the assigned employees list here, you can see here that now Bob has moved from the unassigned employees list and is not available to be assigned anymore. So the remaining part here is to create a data validation list. So I'm going to select these cells here for the employees to be assigned. I'm going to go to data and then data validation, and then I'm going to select list here, and the source for that list is going to be this cell here, L4, and this cell L4 contains a dynamic array formula. And one of the features of dynamic array formulas is that they spill. And so in order to spill the formula, I'm going to add the hash sign. And this hash sign will ensure that all the results of the formula will be included in the data validation list. And these results will be dynamic based on the list of unassigned employees, which shrinks or expands based on whether the employee is assigned a task or not. So I'm going to press OK here. And now, as you can see here, if I assign Ahmad to task number 1, Ahmad has disappeared from the list. And also you can notice that the list has now shrunk and is also sorted because of the sort function that we added. So if you assign Bob, Bob has disappeared from this list as well, and now he's not available on the data validation list. If, for example, you have more tasks and you want to assign 2 tasks per employee instead of 1, then you can just adjust this condition and change it to be less than 2, for example. So this will make each employee be assigned 2 tasks. So as you can see here, Ahmad and Bob and Jennifer are assigned 1 task and they are still available in the list. When I assign the second task to Ahmad, as you can see here, now Ahmad has disappeared from the list and is not available to be assigned any task. And the same goes for Bob. So this is going to be the second task for Bob here. And so he has disappeared from the list, and so on and so forth. All right. So one little part remaining here. If you go to File, and then Options, and then Formulas, you will see here an option called Enable Background Error Checking. This is by default usually checked on your Excel. So if I press OK here, you'll see that these cells are having a green rectangle on the upper left corner. And this is because Excel thinks that there's an error. And this is because, for example, Ahmad has been assigned 2 tasks, and so he's disappeared from the list, and Excel is checking on Ahmad in the data validation list, in the currently available data validation list, and he's not there. So Excel thinks that you're selecting a value or you're having a value that is not available on the data validation list in this cell, which Excel thinks that this is an error, although this is actually what we want. So it's not an error, it's a fake error actually. And the same goes as well for Bob. You can see here that he has an error because Bob is not available on the list anymore, while Jennifer does not have an error because she is still available on the list because she's been assigned 1 task only. So in order to not have this error indicator, you can either highlight the cells and you can ignore the error, or you can disable the option for background error checking. You can do that, but be advised that when you disable it, you will disable background error checking for your whole workbook and not just these formulas. So this is something to take into consideration when creating this kind of solution. So that's it for today's video. I hope that the video was informative for you. If you've watched till this point, thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to like and share the video and subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so that you can get notified about all the new videos, and make sure to follow us on our social media. You will find the links down below in the description. Thank you so much, and I'll see you on the next video.